I'm Jacob Harrison. My job title is Talent Manager. At large-scale events, I look after the talent, which is the term used for anybody like a commentator or a host. I make sure that they are where they need to be, and they're fed and watered, and as happy as I can make them. What qualifications do you need to be hired in your position? I guess you need to be not. You need to be personable, I guess, and also a decent coordinator, and be relatively organised, and a good communicator as well. That's pretty much it. If you can do those things, everything else you kind of pick up as you go. What's the most rewarding part of your job? It's cool to be. It's cool to be backstage, and to be kind of involved in it from a different perspective. And plus, what you tend to find with talent is they tend to be quite charismatic, so they're fun to be around. What's some advice you would give someone that wants to work in esports? You don't have to start doing the job that you eventually want to do. There's like tons and tons of needs, like for admins and stuff, and admins can become casters or product managers or whatever else. Like, you tend to find that if you get yourself through the door, there are so many needs all the time that you can move left and right and up and down actually quite quickly. So don't be afraid to start with something that isn't where you want to end up, because the chances are you'll have the opportunity to move around before you know it.
Great, thank you.
My name is David Cho, and I'm a video editor here at ESL North America. What are your job responsibilities? Because esports is so new and always ever evolving and changing all the time from month to month, I try to apply my video editing skills to other areas. And so for live shows, I work actually as a replay operator, where I literally have to essentially edit on the fly, especially for CSGO matches, round after round. And after the show is when I actually do my quote-unquote real job, if you will, editing VODs and match highlights and so on and so forth. So my responsibilities are pretty far-reaching when it comes to the production side of the show, behind the camera, which is where I'm most comfortable with. What qualifications do you need to have to be hired in your position? So some of the qualifications are, for me specifically, I actually went to a film school, actually majored in TV and video production. So ever since before all of that, I've always had a passion for movies and making my own short films. So this is what I've been doing for my entire life. You know, that passion is always there. I went to school for it, and I had the great opportunity to actually work in esports at a very young age. So ultimately ending up here at ESL, for me at least, is like destiny. And talking to some other people here, that seems to be the case. One of our directors here at ESL actually had a similar kind of path to ESL as well, where he also went to film school and did all of that, and he's doing amazing things as well. What's the most rewarding part of your job? I'll admit the hours can be long and grueling, and there's chaos everywhere. But at the end of the day, when we all come together for a grand finals match and everyone's on top of their A game, it really is really magical, and that to me is like the best part of the job, where everyone works as a team and everyone is just on the same page, and we make some amazing content, and that to me is the most rewarding part. And what advice would you give someone that wants to work in esports? You don't want to be here at your very core and your very heart. You're gonna have a very bad time. Like I mentioned earlier, the hours can be long. This isn't your traditional 9-to-5 world. Things are constantly evolving. Like I also mentioned, there's new technology, new equipment, new metas, if you will, just being invented on the fly, and so many more games on the horizon too, because more and more non-endemic and endemic companies are taking notice of the space, and they look at the numbers and the white sheets and the data, and with that you always have to be on top of your game as well, and always adapting in your respective field. So if you don't want to be in esports at your very core, you're going to have a hard time because this isn't your typical 9-to-5 job. But if you want to be here, you're going to be rewarded by working with other like-minded people and being a part of an amazing team. So if you want to be in esports, give it your all, give it your 100%, and give it everything you have, because in the end you will be rewarded, and who knows where esports will be 5 or maybe 15 years from now.
My name is Stuart Ewan. I'm a product manager with ESL in the headquarters in Germany. My job responsibilities are helping organize a lot of the events. I'm also developing the VR live streaming plan for ESL going into the future, and we've executed it successfully at New York and here in Oakland.
What qualifications do you need to be hired in your position?
I mean, my qualifications are almost exclusively esports based. Although realistically nowadays, for events like this, if you have any kind of experience in an event organization, whether it be like wedding planning or running a trade show, just about anyone who has an industry job like that is capable of working in esports. Obviously some things like content creation and video editing are different skill sets, but there's so many positions within ESL and esports in general that transfer over from most other jobs.
What's the most rewarding part of your job?
Getting to see an event like this kind of take shape. We start with an empty arena and we end with thousands of fans screaming for their favorite team in front of a giant stage that wasn't there 2 days ago. It's really satisfying to almost give birth to something like this that so many people watch and love and people.
And lastly, what advice would you give someone that wants to work in esports?
A lot of it has to do with networking, but as I said before, just about any skill set is applicable to esports nowadays. You don't have to know a lot of people, you just have to have good ideas and be able to communicate them to the people that can make them happen, or just go out and make them happen yourself and get noticed that way. Whether you want to be a pro or like technical director for a show, as long as you've got the ability and the drive to make it happen, the sky's the limit.
Great, thank you.
No problem.
My name is Oliver Briggs. I'm the social media content manager here at ESL. I manage and coordinate basically all our social media activities and like interactions and integrations and stuff like that. And then, you know, responsible for all the spicy dank memes.
What qualifications do you need to be hired in your position?
That's a good question. I mean, I basically started here right when I was done with high school kind of thing, so it's like, I mean, just an understanding of what our user base enjoys, I guess. When you've got to know the community, you don't really need, like, I mean, experience is obviously good to have, right? But it's not like, I don't feel like it's something you can study. It's just if you're in touch with the community, know what they like, you kind of, yeah, I mean, it's kind of it. It's like, it's hard to put specific qualifications on this, I would say.
No, that's good. What's the most rewarding part of your job?
I think it's seeing people react to what we do on social media. I mean, like, if you put something out and get 3,000 retweets and people love it, it's very rewarding because, you know, you've made something that everyone loves and are talking about. So yeah, like that.
And lastly, what advice would you give someone that wants to work in esports?
I mean, it's just go out there and take opportunities when presented.
Adapting videos is always really like.
It's just, I mean, I work like voluntary for, I don't know, like 1.5 years or something, which is pretty normal. Most people get into esports working voluntary. So it's just getting out there, trying to take whatever opportunities present themselves, and yeah.
My name is Michal Brihaj. I am the VP of Pro Gaming at ESL.
And what are your job responsibilities?
My job responsibilities is to...
No responsibilities at all.
Come here, hey, come here. Come here. My job responsibilities
Is this called the Ghana? No.
are to make players like him happy and give them the best possible platform to compete on and entertain people. Thanks.
You're doing a good job,
Excellent,
man.
thank you.
He's saying I'm doing a good job. It's just for camera.
All right, what qualifications do you need to be hired in your position?
You need need to be a very good manager. Not that I had those when I was hired, but you need to be a very good manager. And generally, if you do anything like product management, the main skill that you need is experience and intelligence. Anything else doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have an arts diploma or physical education diploma or management diploma. You can be a good manager if you're intelligent enough.
Great. What's the most rewarding part of your job?
I think the most rewarding part of my job as an events organizer is if I see that people have a genuine emotional moment that you can't just normally produce. So players having an extreme emotional reaction when they win or lose, fans having an amazing time, or as little a thing as making a little action figure for a player and seeing him open it and unbox it for the first time and that genuine smile on the face. Like generally giving people a moment they remember is what it's all about to me.
Great. And what advice would you give someone that wants to work in esports?
Most people in esports that work today didn't get paid for half a year, 2, 3 years. And it's still today, it's the type of job that if you want to do it, you have to absolutely love it. Don't get discouraged, do stuff. Don't wait to get paid, do stuff. If you love it, just do it. If you love it, write articles on a website that will have them. Do interviews, go to an event, do something, create content, get noticed. It's what I did, it's what many, many people did, and I'm here earning the esports money.
Great. Thank you so much.